What's going on YouTube? In this video we're going to be going over the Suzuki Bandit 1200 and what all I've done to it so far. Also, we're going to be dropping the oil pan. I want to see if there's those little teeth that were missing in the starter clutch gear. Just make sure that they're not in the motor. I don't want them bouncing around and destroying the motor. Not only that, we're going to be pulling the clutch cover off. There was a very slight tick in that area. I want to make sure that the previous owners or owner or whatever, they weren't messing with the clutch and didn't put something correct or something's not tight. It's just a very slight tick. It's enough to bother me. So we're going to jump right into that. So yeah, check it out. Okay, so this is the state of the Bandit right now. It's pretty stripped out. I was going to pull the motor out, but I decided I'm on a time crunch right now, so I'm just going to leave the motor in it. I'm going to paint the motor the way it is in the frame, just to freshen it up, get rid of the little nicks and stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty stripped. I know I shouldn't be having everything dangle like that, but a lot of those hoses are going to end up getting replaced and stuff like that, especially the oil cooler that's getting replaced. So, but anyway, show you what I've done to it so far. Obviously took off all the fairings, the fairing, the tank and stuff like that. I took off the rear wheel. I repainted the center of the rotor. I rebuilt the caliper in the back, and that was a mission. I should have filmed that one. Definitely needed brake pads. So there's brand new brake pads in there. The sliders that go through the brake pad and help hold it in position, those were seized inside the rotor. So I had to use some persuasion to get those suckers out, but I got it out. I cleaned the swing arm as much as I possibly can with the wheel off. So that's about probably as far as I'm going to take that. I might clean it up just a little bit more. I also replaced the rear brake master cylinder. And the funny thing is, I bought a brand spanking new one, but evidently it was the wrong one. These bolt holes right here didn't line up. And also I noticed the tube that goes up to the filler here, the tank for the brake fluid, that nipple was smaller. So when I popped that off, I noticed also the orifices inside the master, they were smaller. So I ditched that thing, ordered a used one, and it works. It works nice and good. It's nice and stiff, just like you want it. So that's done. Yeah, I cleaned the rear wheel. I might be pulling the rear wheel back off and actually painting it. I'm not 100% sure yet how I want to go about that. I really haven't done too much more other than stripping this all down. I noticed this front fork here is leaking, so I gotta replace the seals on that one. Oh, well, I'm gonna do both of them and replace the oil and repaint the bottom part of the shock. What else? Yeah, the wiring for the taillight was all messed up, and so I decided just to cut it. Kind of wish I didn't. I'm sure a few wires were correct, but that's why I have the book here, so I can figure out what's what. But yeah, at this point, I also fixed the bracket for the gauge pod, for the Koso gauge pod. I had to weld a little extension here. Get rid of that. Had to weld on a little extension here, drill out the holes, and mount it. And then I painted it flat black. I also took the header off and sandblasted it, and that is I don't remember how many coats, but a bunch of coats of ceramic header coating with the primer and coating itself. So that's ready to go on, but it's not going to go on for a little bit yet. I still have a bunch of stuff I want to do beforehand. Just like I want to lightly repaint the motor itself. I'm gonna sandblast this, polish it out. Probably gonna sandblast this cover too, polish that out also. And I have to get brake cleaner and rinse it all down, get all the grease and oil off of it, so it doesn't look like crap when I go to do it. I'm not going to be probably painting the whole motor. I'm going to get rid of that stuff like that. And the paint I got is actually looked like, according to the cap, it looks like it's identical to the motor color. It looks like in the camera, it looks like it's black. It's not. It's kind of like a gray, really dark gray graphite color. So we'll see how it all turns out. If it doesn't match, I'm gonna have to end up painting majority of the motor. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop, I already drained the oil. I'm going to drop the oil pan, and I want to see if those little teeth that were missing in the clutch gear that I replaced, see if they're sitting in the bottom of the oil pan. I want to make sure that they're not sitting in the bottom of the motor, potentially have a chance to destroy the motor, and I don't want that. Then I'm going to be pulling this cover off and this cover off. I got the oil pan off, and as far as I can tell, I don't see any teeth from that starter gear, which is great. That's great news. I took off the clutch cover, and I also took off the ignition timing cover, I guess you would call it. Now, I get a light here. Did find somebody, if you look, was in here, and there's scratches from, like, I guess a flathead screwdriver, because they didn't have snap ring pliers to get that big clip out to do the clutch, I guess. I didn't see any funky wearing, no metal shavings or anything like that in any of the gears that would indicate some screwed up stuff. So that's a really good sign. But I also found this right here. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. That's like insulation for the ignition. It's all melted. So I'm gonna have to source another one of those out, which isn't bad. I'm sure it's not gonna be too expensive. And up here's dry, then it gets wet under here. Gasket goes around this side. So at this point, I am going to pull the clutch basket, or this ring, out. As long as I can find my freaking my pliers for it. If not, I'm going to have to go buy another pair. I don't remember. I think I might have broke them last time I used them. I don't. There's little teeth on, or that little nub tends to break real easy, so I might have broke it last time I used it. I don't remember. I'll look in my toolbox, see if I still have it. But anyway, I got to take this cover off, and I got to inspect the center nut, make sure that's tight and stuff like that. Like I said, I was hearing a clicking sound from this side. So I think somebody might have not assembled it back together correctly. Yeah, I'll come back once I get that all apart and see what I find. Alright, you guys, so basically I'm at a standstill. This is about as far as I got with taking the clutch apart. I got the snap ring out, center post, and with the little bearing. The bearing looked good, so I thought for sure that was going to be the culprit of that ticking noise, but it's not that. The problem I'm running into now is that's a 30mm socket, and the highest I got is a 27. Then I have a 32. I don't have a 30. So I gotta get one of those. And plus, what the book is saying is that when I remove this nut, I gotta put a new one on. So I'm gonna look more farther into that, see if that's true. But I'm at a standstill. I need to get a 30mm socket to pull the clutch rest of the way out. Plus there's a push rod in the center here. I gotta pull that out also, which is not a big deal. I gotta get a magnet while I guess I'll stop at Harbor Freight or something and get all that. But I did find my good news is I found my snap ring pliers, and I had to actually modify them just a little bit because they didn't open up far enough. I just had to shave a little bit on the inside so I could open up all the way to get the ring out. It's not a big deal, but I'm gonna clean up a little bit here and go hunt down a 30mm socket. Ain't that son of a bitch? That, and I already ordered gaskets for both of these, and I ordered another plate with with this Electroid, I guess it would be called. Ordered that. That was cheap. That was only like $40 or something like that. So that's in the mail. That's gonna be take a while to get here. So I'm pretty much at a standstill. I can still do stuff to the bike. Not today. It's freaking cold out. I got this little heater sitting here while I'm working on the bike to keep me warm. But yeah, I'm gonna take these with me. I'm gonna use a parts cleaner and clean out the oil pan, clean out the outside, get the gasket off. And these two pieces here I'm going to put in a sandblasting cabinet, sandblast the outside. I'm first going to tape off the inside so I don't mess it up, and sandblast the outside. And somehow I gotta figure out how to, this window here, I gotta tape that off real good so when I go to sandblast it, I don't destroy the window itself. I'll figure out something. But yeah, I gotta sandblast those two things and get the new gaskets in and get a 30mm socket and continue taking apart the clutch. Hopefully that's all the parts I'm going to need to finish this bike. I just want to keep moving along. It's just I keep on hitting snags now. So my main goal is to have this up for sale come spring, so hopefully it'll be a fast sell. Yeah, it kind of sucks that I ran into that problem, and yeah, it happens. Alright, you guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video right now. Like I said, I got order. I'm waiting for a few things in the mail. Plus, I gotta go get that 30mm socket so I can continue taking apart the clutch to find that ticking noise. At this point, I really thought it was going to be the first little bearing, and that's as far as I was going to have to go. But it looks like I gotta dig a little bit deeper and find that ticking noise. All the gears on the inside look like they have no wear whatsoever. I don't know. Didn't look like anything was loose, out of place, or anything like that. When I shined a flashlight in there, I didn't see anything crazy. The bottom of the oil pan, there was no metal shavings or anything, which is a great sign. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep on doing the video on this. I'll do some work on it off camera and this and that. Then I'll film when I get some progress, get you guys up to speed. Then I'll do a little bit, that type of thing, until the bike is done. Like I said, I'm trying to get away from the how-tos and step-by-step. It just takes way too long to work on something. Then editing it's a nightmare. So I'm just gonna keep it simple like this. If you find this video interesting, please like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, take it easy.
Yeah.